really proud of our guys on Saturday afternoon for bouncing back like they did, and it was a game and a week that has been talked about all year because people felt like it would be an opportunity to be flat. And as we saw Baylor continuing to get better, it's a weekend that scared us to death. So we're proud of the guys, proud of the way they came out. In fact, our offense scored the first drive of the game, and they also scored the first drive of the second half. So, and defense played really, really well to start both games. You've got to give Art and Baylor credit. When we were up 14-0, they came storming back, and one was the interception. I was proud of our defense that they fought so hard to keep them out. And Robert made a great play there at the end to dive in the end zone. But Baylor's a different Baylor football team. I think we'll see them improve throughout Robert Griffin's career because Art's won everywhere he's ever been. He's a tremendous football coach, and he's got the trigger guy right now, and that guy can make plays. It was obvious that 4 or 5 of those runs, we didn't have anybody that could run him down. So he's really, really a good football player, and proud of our guys. You start looking at what happened. There were 5 big plays in the game for them that ended up accounting for 229 yards. And then on the other 44 plays, they had 43 yards. So obviously for them, it became a big play day, and for us, it became a day that we messed up on 2 or 3 options that Robert took the distance, and then he hit a couple of big pass plays against us as well. We had 6 3-and-outs. But the best thing we did, we stopped them 10 of 11 times on 3rd downs. And if you do that, you're obviously getting the other team off the field. And we also had 3 4th down stops. And those are like turnovers, as we've talked about before. And I do feel like, as I said after the game, that the play that changed the game's momentum back for us was obviously Ryan Palmer's interception for a touchdown. And after that, I thought we handled the game pretty well. The second half, we felt like we dominated. We had the ball 38 minutes and 19 seconds for the game, but we had it about 10.5 minutes in the third quarter, and then we had it 13 minutes in the fourth quarter. So we felt like, again, that all of that was really, really good. So y'all looking, do you need to stop? Okay, give them shut up back there so you folks can hear, be better. But we did feel like that we pretty much dominated the second half and stayed on the field. We were disappointed that the young guys on defense didn't finish the game well. We had a messed up call, and we got lined up improperly, and they went about 40 yards for a touchdown untouched there at the end of the game, and that was disappointing. We were disappointing on defense that we gave up too many big plays, and you've got to give Robert credit. Robert Griffin scrambled and made a lot of those plays. We did only have 4 missed tackles for 85 yards. So most of the game on defense, we played really, really well, and I give credit to Will Muschamp and the defensive staff again for having a great plan and trying to contain Robert enough and make him beat you throwing the ball downfield. And again, I thought the defense played well. Offensively, we lost the 2 turnovers, which was disappointing for us. We had 8 explosive plays, which we'd like to have more, but we didn't play many of the starters in the fourth quarter. But we did win the explosive plays over Baylor. Our first down efficiency was really good. Our 3rd down efficiency was really good, so we won both of those. And because of the missed field goals, we did not win the red zone efficiency. I will go back to Roy Miller and Henry Melton played great in the game, but the 2 players of the game defensively were Ryan Palmer and Earl Thomas. And it was good to see Earl bounce back after last week's game and be one of the players of the week. Ball hawks, Emmanuel Acho caused a fumble. Sergio Kendall caused a fumble. Henry Melton caused a fumble. Roy Miller caused a fumble. Now, the good thing is we caused that many fumbles. The bad thing is we didn't get on one. So we've got to get on the ball now that we're knocking them loose more. Ryan Palmer had 2 4th down stops, and Ryan also had an interception for a touchdown. Earl Thomas had a 4th down stop and a caused fumble. We had 13 pressures on the quarterback, 10 hits on the quarterback, and 3 sacks. And the hard hat award goes to both Aaron Smith on the kickoff coverage and also Keenan Robinson. They both did a great job covering the kickoffs. The boss hog for the offensive line, there were 3 of them: Cedric Dockery, Chris Hall and Charlie Tanner. The big hit, which is unusual for an offensive lineman, was on his own play. That was Cedric Dockery, who totally dominated his guy. The most productive player of the day was Colt McCoy. Again, just having a fabulous day. The biggest contributor was Quan Cosby. It was obvious to everybody that we missed him out in Lubbock, and it's good to have him back. He's just a settling effect for Colt, and Colt knows where to find him, and he's going to catch everything and make good yards after the catch. The great play of the day was the throw to Brandon Collins in the end zone for the touchdown. The positives were we scored on both the first drive of the first half and the second half. Dominated time of possession offensively. We had 30 first downs to their 9. For the season, we're 56% on converting third downs. We were 8 of 16, which again is really, really good. And we felt like we ran the ball more efficiently than over the last 2 weeks, and that's something we wanted to do going into the game. We've got to improve the 2 turnovers. The kicking game was really not bad. It's the 2 field goals were the thing that we missed that marred the kicking game, and Hunter had a sore leg going into the week, but he practiced well, and we just missed the 2 field goals. But other than that, we won all 3 phases. We were really, really proud that the kickoff coverage was better. We tried out some young guys there at the end, and they didn't do as well in the fourth quarter, which was disappointing. But throughout the game, we thought that Justin kicked the ball well, and our coverage was pretty good. Aaron Smith, A.J. Williams, and Keenan Robinson got tackles inside the 20-yard line, and that's hard to do now when they move you back. And Emmanuel Acho caused a fumble. So we felt like that all of those players did a better job, and we kicked it in a better spot. Justin Tucker, 1 punt is all we had for the day, and he kicked it down inside the 6-yard line again. So it's 1 punt for 53 yards and no return is something that we're really excited about, and our kickoff returns were better, and Jordan had a great punt return. So he's doing a really good job for filling in for Quan on punt returns. The players of the game in special teams, Jordan Shipley and Keenan Robinson. Keenan got much tougher up inside and did a great job covering. You start looking at Kansas. They're 5-1 at home, 27 players from the state of Texas. They're in a position now where they need to win like we need to win, and your people are talking about playoffs. It's kind of like playoffs from here on out. You got to go wherever you need to go on the road with Kansas, and we're going up north, and that's where the Big 12 championship, the area it'll be played in anyway. And you have to play well, and you have to win, and we can just continue talking about great quarterbacks like we have each week, because Todd Reesing's doing the same thing. He's 10th in the country in total offense, and he's very accurate, and he's from this area, and we saw what he was able to accomplish out at Lake Travis, and we'll have our hands full again this week, and that doesn't change. A lot of guys are banged up, but I did feel like that we were able to get some energy out there Saturday and play well, so we'll just have to keep doing it. Questions?
Coach, for the first time ever, Texas is now tied with Notre Dame in all-time wins. Before you came, that was a pretty tough road to hoe. Are you pleased with that? Do you think about that, or just comment about tying Notre Dame?
I'm pleased for Texas. I think that the Texas fans have such pride in their football, and at the same time great respect for Notre Dame, and Michigan's the only one ahead. So when you look at those 3 programs and what they've meant to the history of college football, and you have to thank Coach Royal for all the games he won in that stretch. But it's a prideful thing, and we did talk to the kids about it last week. But I think the fact, if you're in the top 5 in the history of winning, it's not just 1 or 2, or if you're in there, that means that we've had good football for a long time.
Coach, you talked about when you were number 1, blocking it out. Now you guys are one of those teams. If someone falls and everyone's trying to figure out the formulas, do you try to keep them from getting caught up in that? Because everything people say is assuming Texas is going to win the rest of their games.
Yes, well, we went over those scenarios with them yesterday as much as I can understand them. I get confused too. But the thing that we told them is nothing really matters except you winning. And if you win, it all takes care of itself, and you'll end up in a really nice place that you'll be proud of. And if certain things happen, you may be in the conference championship game. You can win out and still not get in it, possibly too. So don't worry about all that. But the one thing we know for sure is we'll be in a better place by winning out than if we lose a game in the next 2. So you better go play and forget it, and that's what we did.
Coach, obviously you talked about the scenarios, and they are complicated, but there is a scenario where you're going to have to rely on computers to put you into a conference championship game. With that being in your mind, do you have to to worry about style points, impressing voters with the way you win games?
It's a question that we're asked a lot, and I don't worry about style points. You worry about winning. Do the best you can, and you would hope that people would put the best football team at that time in the right places, and that's what we're working toward. If you're working on style points, number one, it's an insult to the team you're playing because it insinuates you can, and you better get ready to go. Last time we went to Kansas, there weren't any style points. There were 11 seconds left when we scored to win the game. So what we need to do is win.
Max, does this remind you of 04 a little bit? You've got one loss, the BCS is still out there, all those kind of things going to Kansas State.
I hadn't thought about it, but it probably does some. I mean, the 04 team probably had higher expectations than this one going into the season. So, but we're as much as coaches beat up the BCS, and I'm one of those that has been critical. I do think it's much better than the system we had when it got in place. I mean, there's a lot of really good things about the BCS, and it's got everybody talking about it right now. So that's what college football wants. It wants attention and wants good attention, and everybody's sitting down with a pencil and a piece of paper trying to figure out how this crazy stuff's going to work, and it'll all change next week again drastically because somebody will get upset that's not supposed to. And I do think there's some tweaking that would make it a better system, but we're pretty much in playoffs now. If you look at what we've got, and it was like that in 2004. It came down to nth degree with us and Cal to go to the Rose Bowl, and it was a great moment for us, and we had to win out to do it, and they had to have a tough game at Southern Miss to do it. So who knows? I mean, that's what happens in these things at the end.
What is it about Todd that makes him so tough?
He's so much like Colt and Chase Daniel and these guys right now. He stays on the move. He's really hard to sack. And he's so accurate, and he's competitive. I mean, the people that saw him at Lake Travis know that. He just keeps the ball alive, and he can make plays that you just wouldn't dream he could make, throwing off his back foot and front foot, and people trying to knock him out. He's just really a good football player, and they've got some great players. The two receivers are playing so well for them, and they're getting the ball downfield to them, but he's the reason they're winning. I mean, he is really a good player.
Coach Davis has mentioned the fact that 7-on-7 in high school has really kind of made a lot of these quarterbacks who they are. I mean, you've got so many from the Big 12 specifically who played in the 7-on-7 format. Reesing's one of them too. Do you think that it's really kind of changed the face of how not only you recruit but the systems that these guys play?
I do. When we first got here, everybody talked about the passing leagues in California, and we did not have them in Texas. And 11 years ago, everybody was just running the ball. And now so many teams in the state of Texas are running spread-type offenses. They're still running it, still have options. But with our 7-on-7, you're seeing more receivers coming out, and you're seeing better quarterbacks. I don't know what the number is right now, but at some point at midseason, I was told that 22 quarterbacks from the state of Texas are starting across the country, and that's not just in the Big 12. And that's an amazing number because there's some really good backups too. And I do attribute it to the high school coaches doing such a great job of getting